Now, I keep getting, well, there's a lot of things I keep getting asked over and over again. Let's just talk about one of them. It usually goes something like this. Well, Mr. Kelly, I'm really broke. I'm really in bad financial shape. I need to file a bankruptcy. But, do I have to list all my debts? It'll come in that form. Or I'll hear, I'm married, and we're in terrible shape, and I need to file a bankruptcy, but I'd like to not have my wife have to file. If my wife has to file, or if my husband has to file, it's going to wreck her career, or it's going to wreck his career, or it's going to wreck her credit, it's going to wreck his credit. Or maybe the question will be something like this. Mr. Kelly, I have a house and I have a rental property. Now, there's no equity in the rental property, so I don't have to list that on my bankruptcy, do I? Or I have some rental income, but it isn't as much as the building costs. I'm actually losing money on this building, so I don't have to report that rent then, do I? Now, this whole series of inquiries I received that I just described, and I get the same ones over and over again, touch upon the following issue. I mean, what it comes down to, what it sounds like to me after I've been listening to this for a while is, Mr. Kelly, could I just go a little bankrupt? Now, what I want to say on the subject is this. If you're bankrupt, it's a lot like being pregnant. You either are or you aren't. And bankruptcy is total. Either you're putting both feet in all the way, or I don't want you to do it. When you file a bankruptcy, there's a number of things that happen. The trustee assumes ownership of all your assets, right down to your socks. All right? While the bankruptcy is pending, you completely lose your right to privacy, at least as far as the bankruptcy trustee is concerned. I can't think of much that they can't ask you or that they can't demand that you produce. Bank statements, medical bills, receipts for your last trip to the grocery store, whatever. If it's a financial document, if it has anything to do with your financial situation, and what isn't financial? Everything's financial. They can ask you for it. And it's very serious. It is to be taken very seriously. As soon as you file that bankruptcy, you are at risk of being charged with a felony, because bankruptcy fraud is a felony. And well, what's bankruptcy fraud? Well, bankruptcy fraud could look a lot the same as something you just forgot to put on the papers, or something you forgot to tell me about, something that comes up later. The point I'm trying to make is, it's a tremendous risk and it's a tremendous inconvenience, and it's nothing you want to take lightly. It's something you only want to do if you are entirely bankrupt. And you have to be in such bad shape that you are ready to surrender completely to this process. So I'm thinking, if there's some asset you don't want to list, you're not ready to file the bankruptcy. If there's income you don't want to list, or if there's financial situations you don't want to talk about, you're not ready to file a bankruptcy. Excuse me. I'll get right back to you. If you're married and you're not both ready to file, I don't think you're ready to file the bankruptcy. Okay? It's a total process. In any of those circumstances, I'm very likely to not want to take your case.